Coming up on Rick Dancer TV, we've got Coburg, the car show, the quilt show, the antique fair.
Rick Dancer TV is about information.
Hi, I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Rick Dancer TV. Obviously, we're in the mood like you probably are too.
It's also about attitude.
Emma, this is a perfect segue, but have you ever tried Doug's Nuts?
What?
Doug's Nuts. Have you heard of Doug's Nuts?
Inappropriate.
They come in a sack.
Much.
This little bag right here.
Whoa, so many things.
Marvin Lori.
It's about introducing you to the people that make this such a great place to live.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Little free publicity, the Sears house.
It is special, isn't it?
On Rick Dancer TV, we are in Cresswell. We're going to introduce you to some new places to eat, show you the best soup you'll ever find.
It's about introducing you to people and places and ideas, things you never thought about before.
I am alive.
Yeah, because so you guys are the local jokers, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite is, of
It's
course,
television
Ranchito
the way
Grill,
it should
right there
be
in
done.
Springfield on Mohawk. The chicken is amazing. I know you tease me about only ordering margaritas.
We're not afraid to get you riled.
It's going to irritate you. I hope it irritates you to the point of taking some action. We went out with Lane County's nuisance abatement program, which
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, and they still charge us.
We're not afraid to challenge the rules.
What do you? I don't think you can do that.
Emma, just bite it off there. Taste it.
I feel like I should say no.
Is that not the best ice cream?
It was really good. But also, I'm pretty sure they frown upon this. Just for future
it's not like
reference.
we're going to put it back in. And on the soapbox, dog poop in a plastic bag? Really? I'm not dead. That sounds like something interesting.
The show has definitely changed a lot over the last 2 years. A lot of people have been involved. Now we're working with Eugene Daily News to get more content, more stories, more information, and more people involved. I'm working with Bill Getz, a photographer I used to work with at KEZI many years ago. So, here's what we should do. You want to take a look back at some of the early shows to see how much it's changed? Look at those pictures.
Hi, I'm Rick Dancer. Welcome to Rick Dancer TV. What the heck is Rick Dancer TV? Well, we don't know either. We're making it up as we go, and hopefully it's not going to be a train wreck. Oh, it's not going to be a train wreck. I work with professional photographers. I was in the business for 20 years. I had this dream I was back on TV. If I'd been back on the news, that would qualify as a nightmare. But this was different. I mean, really different. This was a show made up of stories that you wouldn't see on the news. Some were pet projects, some's just informative. But all of them told a story about people. And you can join us on Rick Dancer TV.
This is how we introduced the show to Eugene. I know it's a little bit creepy, but I'd been through some really difficult times and I wanted to make a point about things that die in your life. So anyway, we borrowed this bicycle-pulled hearse from a local mortician. The creep factor was pretty high. People were staring at us as we were driving down the street, and to this day, my wife still can't look at me in that particular suit.
Prostate cancer didn't kill me. Running for Secretary of State didn't kill me. Even working in the news industry for 20 years didn't kill me. I'm not dead. People keep asking me, Rick, what are you doing now?
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
It was something we wanted to do for a long time.
What I wanted to do for a long time was tell real stories about real people, why they do what they
Plans
do.
in our life to own a coffee house.
Is a town many travelers simply pass by. So here's how it happened. A business owner in Oakland, Oregon called me, said, Rick, could you do a video on my business? I thought, sure. Then the city of Oakland called me, and the rest, I guess, is sort of history for me.
I could see it. You loved it. And I do.
Oakland, Oregon. There's really no place like it. In the beginning, to be honest, I really didn't know what I was going to do, but I started shooting stories on places like the Walterville Grange, stuff in my neighborhood that I knew about.
And so this building was built, the main building was built in the 1800s.
But the wear and tear. Hi, I'm Rick Dancer. I'm not the most mechanically inclined guy. I mean, I know that the engine is under the hood.
A good friend of mine, Kurt Richter, also a photographer at KEZI, started working with me and we came up with some creative ideas.
I don't know much about cars, and yet I need to save money like you do when it comes to working on my car. So what am I supposed to do? Well, I have this friend named Phil. He owns Shepherd Motors in Eugene. You know, they sell Volkswagens, Volvos, and Hyundais. The other day, my friend Phil and I were at Full City having coffee. You know Full City, that's the place I always tell you about where I go have coffee. So Phil says to me, you know, Rick, my mechanic could show you and your over 6,000 Facebook friends how to take care of your vehicles. You know, I do have more than 6,000 friends on Facebook. That's a huge deal. More than 6,000 close, intimate friendships on Facebook. Huh. If you come to the Network Charter School in Eugene expecting a mainstream educational experience, you will be pleasantly surprised because the Network Charter School is so much more.
I really do love my job. I like telling stories of places that people may not understand, may not have been, programs that are different, that are outside of the box, and I still get to do that a lot.
Show up and ready to learn.
I was not a good student.
I'm Rick Dancer. This is Nick Casa.
When you do your own television, you get to focus on the things that you really think are important, the things that matter, that change the way we think.
Something amazing happens when you give people the opportunity to see others in a new light.
We create commercials that cut past the pure messaging and get to the heart of the real issue.
She makes rugs for people. She vacationed in Spain. She would love to tell you about her trip and about her life. Vicki has a lot to offer. All you have to do is acknowledge her.
When Women's Space needed to get the message out to end the silence, we didn't get a spokesperson. We went and talked to survivors, real people who'd been through it before.
This is Women's Space. Good. I don't know what to do.
We told the story of a young man and his mother whose lives were changed after spending time at the Women's Space shelter more than 2 decades ago.
I hear her saying, yeah, you had a rough childhood, and I'm like, really? Wake up, you fell again.
It was, well, 20 years ago, actually.
I think that would be, my biggest words of wisdom.
We believe life lessons make you the real expert. Real people, real stories, real advice from folks who've been there.
About your feelings. I don't want him to feel like, he's a man and he can't. I want him to know that, that's what we want. We want to know what's going on. I want him to know that it's okay to show affection and to, show compassion and to be caring and to be honest. It's okay to be angry and upset, but it's not okay to act out in anger. It's never okay to hit. I hope by, the way I'm able to raise him that he's going to continue to treat the women in his life the way he treats me, because that's huge. If I can get that accomplished, I've done well. I've always heard that a man that treats his mother with love and respect is, the man you want to find. So I'd love my son to be that man.
One of the things we find people like the best about Rick Dancer TV is we take you on a location shoot into a business and show you what they do.
Okay, so Terry, when you buy a location shoot, kind of the idea is we're going to start out here and then give you a couple of segments throughout the show so that it looks like Coburg Pizza, Nana's Cafe is all over this thing. And that's kind of what you're paying for. That's what you want, yeah. So you get 3 segments. The first one is the most important. That's right near the top. So it's 1:30. What do you want to focus on there?
Got to concentrate on Nana and probably Nana's cinnamon rolls.
So who she is, what your specialty is, that kind of stuff, because there's a story there. So we all know about Coburg Pizza, located in Coburg, right on the main drag. Now, Coburg Pizza is also Nana's Cafe in Coburg. So Terry Dawson is the owner, and hey, haven't seen you since I think it was last Friday when I had a pizza at Coburg Pizza in Springfield. But anyway, that's why confuse the point.
No confusion.
Nana's Cafe. What are you guys doing here? What's going on?
Well, when we first moved to town 17 years ago, coffee was the thing we wanted to do to better be involved and get to know our community, and we just never got around to it. Pizza happened, and it kind of exploded, and
you kind of got popular real fast.
It did kind of happen, and so last fall we decided to finally venture into some great espresso, my wife's baked goods, Nana's baked goods, and created Nana's Cafe inside the pizza company in Coburg.
What are you most famous for?
Wow. Scones and cinnamon rolls probably when it comes to baked goods, and especially the cinnamon rolls. Because we
all
do
made here.
All made here. We do a wide variety of them, so cranberry orange cinnamon rolls and maple bacon cinnamon rolls, and you know our traditional cinnamon rolls. And so they're all pretty popular, and we probably have 3 times as many scone recipes that we offer. So those things tend to get a lot of traffic.
You also serve lunch here.
Yeah, we do.
What kind of sandwiches, pizza?
Sandwiches, pizza by the slice, wings, the Coburg Pizza Company recipe, kind of augmented by some of the frittata and the other things that we do at Nana's Cafe.
What do you want people to leave here with? Because obviously this is a big venture. When you're expanding, it means you're open even longer. And what do you want people to?
Well, we certainly want them to leave well-fed, but beyond well-fed, we want them to leave happy to have been here, and not just in a location or in our restaurant, but in Coburg and with the community of Coburg. And this has kind of become a gathering spot for the whole of our community. And so watching them interact with each other, reacquaint themselves and their relationships and their friendships, sometimes old disputes put away over a great cup of coffee. That's really the kind of thing that we hope to see as a whole, both in the Coburg Pizza Company and of course then in mornings at Nana's Cafe.
Okay, 2 other ones. You get 2, these are going to be like 60 seconds.
Well, coffee, Nana's Cafe, coffee, that's the score, so that's probably something that we should emphasize. We have 2 different kinds of coffee that we use, 2 different blends that are roasted in 2 different ways. We use a local roaster to do all of our coffees. Both coffees are unique to us. We use one for our house blend, it's a secret recipe. We use another for our espresso blend, and they're both pretty dark and rich, very deeply flavored, and both very Italian. The blends that we've come up with, mostly it comes through a series of tastings, multiple tastings over and over and over again, just like we do with our pizza. And so we roast some and taste it and adjust the blend and roast some and taste it. We're using 5 different beans for our espresso, 4 different beans for our house coffee. And we're pretty thankful to have been given the opportunity to create, you know, on that level and introduce some really fine coffee to Coburg.
Okay, and number 3, obviously, we probably should do something with pizza.
Yeah, just so people think that we have pizza, because after all.
That's kind of where you started. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is you're going to go back inside. We'll go through this a couple times if we have to, but we're going to just walk in, and we want this to be as natural as possible because I don't want it to look like regular television. So, okay.
Easy.
So you go inside. We're going to just kind of flow in there, and I'll start asking you questions, and then we'll cut this up and make you look good.
Good. See you inside.
All right, thanks. So it's not like I need to ask you anything about your pizza because I'm like a Coburg Pizza. I love your pizza.
Yeah, will you please do this?
Yeah. Would you please? I still beg you. So tell me, for other people who don't know, I think the thing I noticed the most about your pizza is the crust, and I don't know where you got that recipe, but you'll tell me, and the toppings. You do some crazy things with the pizza.
We do some crazy things with pizza. We call it pizzesco, which in Italian means crazy. And the crust is great, and it's a secret, sorry. But we probably use 130 different toppings, cheeses, and sauces on our pizzas, and have 57 different pies on the menu, and weird, wacky, crazy, but award-winning stuff like jambalaya pizza and jalapeno popper pizza and apple crisp pizza and s'mores pizza and a salmon pizza, all kinds of stuff.
Because you're crazy about pizza.
Crazy about pizza. Always have been. Always have been.
So the thing is, you need people to know is you have 2 locations now, and you're still in Coburg.
Still in Coburg, never leaving Coburg. Coburg Pizza Company not in Coburg would just be, well, strange.
See my new socks?
Yeah.
These are Swiftwick.
You keep showing me. Oh, look, the heel. It's obvious where it goes, so that'll be good for you.
I need that. No, these things are
socks upside down.
We believe marketing should be subtle, not flashy and in your face.
10 minutes. There's a learning curve. And when you come later, you get the better pancakes.
24 bags of Krusties.
We like to get out in the community and have fun with people and make fun of each other. You know, that kind of stuff.
This is what I have to deal with. I think I got to start over there.
The bubbly ones.
My mama showed me how to make pancakes.
Oh, let me.
Em, don't. You'll ruin them.
Whatever. You know I do everything better than Rick, and faster,
Look at that.
and stronger.
You got to get them turned over.
Give me that. Don't tell me how.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, kind of flipped that like a chick, didn't you, Rick? Got it. You got to loosen it up, Rick. You got to loosen it up, and you want to do a clean, like that. Okay?
You're a drama queen. You have to make it. You have to make it into a big deal.
Hey,
here.
Pop, this is the kettle. You're black.
So there's a whole bunch of new restaurants in.
We love to eat. We like showing you new places to eat, and there's so many in town.
Of Willamette and Broadway, one of the oldest buildings in Eugene, and they have all kinds of beer. Now, just down the street over in the Whitaker neighborhood, Oakshire Brewery has a new public house. If you want to find the center of Cresswell, the place where everybody hangs out, you follow your nose to the Cresswell Bakery. This is where Heidi Tunnell, famous for her barn dinners, now she has a bakery. Come here. This is Heidi Tunnell, and she owns, you've had a catering company here for years.
Ranchito Grill in Springfield is the greatest Mexican food, but they needed to get the word out, so we help them do that every month.
From scratch. So we make sure we hire people that have the passion for making food. That's one of the ingredients. The other one, we make sure that our recipes, they use the ingredients that we tell them to use.
We're gonna make this dish. It's called prawns Pernod. Black tiger prawns with shallots, scallions, and tomatoes. A little butter, just a little salt, a little cracked pepper, a little paprika, and a little nutmeg. Now we're gonna saute black tigers in there, of course. Little white wine here. And so we'll make a little fire, and actually we don't want to burn it all because we want some of that flavor in the dish. Now it's ready. I just will put it on a plate, and you'll see how pretty it will look. It really does remind me of what you would find in southern France. It's not a job, it's a pleasure. People go, oh my God, this is so good, it smells so good, it looks good. So you're getting compliments, you're visiting with people while you're
kind
working.
of an actor, really.
Yeah,
this is your stage.
It really is, yeah. I thoroughly enjoy it.
My wife Kathy and I love adventure. We go on trips cycling, and we go paddle boarding and running, and we think that you'd like to come along with us because we hear that all the time. So on the show and Rick Dancer TV, we take you everywhere. Part of the fun of all this is we give you ideas of things you might want to try. I hear all the time people say, well, if Rick and Kathy can do it, I can do it. And they do. Relationship. That's really what we're looking for here. Commercial TV can't provide that. We can. We want you involved. We want you to feel like you can do anything we do. When Dark 30 Sports sponsored the first downtown Eugene Criterium and Elite Mile, they called us to get the word out.
Happen in other cities, but in downtown Eugene, this is a first and a combination that has Eugene written all over it.
Rick Dancer Television is not just about Western Oregon. That's our main focus, but just a few years ago, we went to Redoubt Mountain Lodge in Alaska. I cannot tell you how many people have told me they want to go there now.
It's like going back in time. I mean, this is like the lower 48 was 100 years ago.
It's nature in its simple form. You know, it's not the TV form.
You know there's nobody for miles. I mean, literally miles and miles. You're not going to see another soul.
This is what we get to do out here. We get to show people wild Alaska, or just nature, I guess, in its truest sense.
Because I think Alaska, for a lot of people, is a bucket list.
Advertising shouldn't be in your face. It should be compelling. but it should be your story. We think that's what sells a company. It's 4 in the morning. Nature is starting to stir. In an hour or so, the sun will peek over the Cascade Mountain Range and spill into the Willamette Valley. Nestled at the base of those mountains near a small community of farmers north of Junction City, you'll find Lockmead Farms. The cows and those who care for them are already up. Something about starting the day this way seems so natural. Taking care of the land, the animals, and each other is just part of the tradition at Lockmead Farms. In these parts, hard work, commitment to community, and how to treat each other are simply the way it's done. Lockmead Farms is fresh, it's local, it's family. No wonder our milk, ice cream, and other dairy products taste so good. But you don't have to visit the farm to experience our goodness. You can find them at your neighborhood Dairy Mart store, the home of Lockmead Farms, or in your local natural food store. We love to try something new. Goodwill wanted to increase its donations. Our concept was the top 4 reasons you should not have a garage sale.
Shows up. You take 50 cents for that? The negotiator, the bargainer, the cheapskate. How about a nickel for all this? Negotiation is sport to this guy. Okay, how much for all this?
20 bucks.
3. Who let him out anyway? Come on, $8.50, $8.75, $8.85. Why did you do it? Would you take $3 for that? You knew he'd show up. How much for this sign?
It's not for sale.
He always shows up. What about this fishing pole up here? So how much for all these tools and this gas?
It's not for sale.
Now he knows where you live. Hey, so what about this computer in here? Oh wow, look at this lamp. Look at this lamp. Hey, Eric, you know what? I think that's Shelly Kurtz from Cable. She used to work at Cable. Come here.
We have a blast bringing back people like me from the past news years onto the show to be a host. Shelly Kurtz was a kick.
How are you? Look, this is Shelly Kurtz.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. You know,
how you doing?
I'm doing well. Shelly and I, you can stand up. Shelly and I started when I was an intern.
Oh, that's right.
I was an intern at KGW
go
when I was in
back.
college.
We
and
go
she was
way
the
back.
I know, you were the weekend anchor. Thank you for coming in. It's such a surprise to see you, and you're going to be hosting tonight with us.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, and it shouldn't be such a surprise, so I brought a contract for you to sign. I've learned from experience that I need a lengthy contract.
And something that's ironclad, don't you?
A relatively new aspect of Rick Dancer TV is local musicians. We bring them in, let them play a song, find out who they are, and introduce you to these amazing, talented people in our community.
They call me back on Santa. Come around by the break of day.
We're really excited about these new sponsored shows that we're doing on themes. We did one for Valentine's Day. It has to be more than chocolate and flowers and cards. We also did The Strangest Reindeer of All, where we looked at how does Christmas look like the man it's named after. We're not afraid in these shows to go that extra step, to really talk to somebody like this guy named Billy.
So you must be Billy.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy.
How you doing?
No, thanks for meeting me. I appreciate it. So tell me what happened when you met these people. It was
Well,
right here, right?
Yeah, I was right over here on the other side of the bushes here. I was sitting on a table.
Billy, who's nearly homeless himself, gave what he had to someone else because they needed it.
If I knew where to find it. And so I went and got some food, some sandwiches and some chips and some drinks, and I brought it back to them.
Why'd you do that?
It's kindness in my heart. I just felt sorry for them. I don't have a lot myself, but what I do have, I don't mind giving it if I have it.
Now why? That's not real normal in our culture, Billy.
Right. Well, it's just the right thing to do.
So how do more people get to be like what you're like? It seems like we all want to collect and gather more and more and more. And here you're a guy, and you say you're of simple means, so you don't have a ton of stuff in your life, and you just don't care.
No, I don't care. I mean, if I have and I'm not using it at the time, they could use it. Why not? Just give it to them.
So where does that come from?
I was brought up in a family that had, you know, that didn't have a lot. And so I guess if you don't have a lot, you don't mind sharing it because you're used not to having a lot. Live paycheck to paycheck, you know, don't always have food in the house, you know, going to food boxes, you know, getting food out, you know, from the food places and stuff like that.
And that's how you live.
Right.
That's normal for you.
That's normal.
It kind of blows me away a little bit, if I'm honest with you, because I think, how do you do that? I think that's amazing. That's why we're talking to you.
Right.
You inspire me.
Thank you.
I'm looking for what Christmas really is supposed to look like, and I think it's supposed to look like you.
If you're not going to use it, why let it sit and not be used?
That's kind of what the original Christmas was all about, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hope.
And giving. It's not about receiving, it's about giving.
And you really believe that?
Yes.
And you live it?
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
I like you, Billy.
I like you too.
Yeah, I like your spirit. I think that's pretty cool. Thanks.
Yep.
I like that guy.
Our water cooler interview really gets to the heart of topics. We take a little bit longer on this. We make a web version that goes up to 8 minutes long. The one you see on TV is only about 3 minutes, but this is just straight interview. This is conversations with newsmakers and people in town, just trying to get information out without all the hype and buzz.
Football world. And joining us is Tom Turner, the sheriff of Lane County. We're going to talk about that levy that voters passed. And welcome to the water cooler. Joining us is Brian Obie, and you have proposed, the owner of Fifth Street Market, and you've proposed this huge project.
We also have the soapbox, your chance and mine to get on the box and rant.
Tonight's soapbox, we're going to get a little controversial. It's about an opinion, and it's mine, okay? This is about Phil Knight and his sports complex, okay? I've seen all the writing and all the people yelling and screaming about it. Is it over the top? Yes. Is it too much? Of course it is. Bottom line is, Phil's done a lot of other good things in the community. The Knight Library, Matt Court, the single largest construction project in Lane County history. He donated $100 million to Oregon Health Sciences University so that I could get treated for cancer. I don't think that was his reason, but that's what happened with it. So I got no beef with the guy. And the bottom line for me is, it's his money. And when we start griping about how other people spend their private money, we're in big trouble. I do some work with the Look Me in the Eye campaign.
We like to leave each show with something for you to chew on, something to think about, something real life that makes you walk away and say, you know, tomorrow's going to be a better day.
For who we are. We were at Spring Creek Elementary the other day. I was with a young man named Nick Casa. He was explaining to the kids what it's like to have a wheelchair to get around. The kids were asking great questions, and this one little boy came up, let's just call him John. And John said, my issue is that people think I'm odd, and they tell me that to my face. And I said, how does that make you feel? And he said, really bad. After the assembly, I'm leaving, and John looks at me, and he just mouths the words, thank you. Got in my car, and I said, you know what? I want to be like John when I grow up. I think I need to just start being odd and not worry about what the rest of you think. We'll see you next time.